There's a new law in New Jersey in this Gloucester Township. Okay, it's the Minors and Parent Responsibility Act. All right, this was in response to a brawl of hundreds of teens that happened in the township last year. So essentially what it's saying is if you're a parent, you're a legal guardian of a minor, and this minor repeatedly is found to be doing these horrible offenses, or even, on the scale of things, not horrible, but loitering, destroying things, overall just causing a disturbance. And I'm not talking small, but, a major disturbance, a brawl, things like that, that this township is saying the parents are going to be held accountable with fines or even jail time over it. And there's some people in New Jersey, the parents are saying that this is, I guess, it's encroaching on parental rights. I don't see it that way. I see it as strengthening parental rights, but that's just my view of it, because to me, it's saying to parents, take ownership.
Yeah.
But there are some, and it's like the Moms for Liberty, I saw it on the channel this morning, they're actually against it, saying that this is an infringement on parental rights. So I'm not a parent. You're a new parent. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I'm in favor of something like this because it sucks that it has to exist. I think first we have to start there. It sucks that the government has to impose responsibility upon parents whose sole job should be responsibility for their child. But if you've got parents who are not taking responsibility for their children, who don't care that they're out all hours of the day, all hours of the night, smashing up people's property and getting involved in violent crime, things like that, then we've got to find ways to make them care, because it is not entire society's role to care for your child, right? The child is your responsibility. If they're an adult, different thing. But when we've got 12, 13, 14-year-olds doing this, we have laws that protect against neglect, where the parent is not living up to their responsibility, if they're not feeding their child or clothing their child or making sure they have access to education, all these kind of things. There are all these kind of laws that already exist. Do those not impede parental rights?
Yeah.
Of course not. That's absurd. Parents have a certain responsibility to their child, and stopping them from getting involved in this kind of thing is part of it. Again, it sucks that it has to exist, but if this is something that will make some terrible parents wake up and take responsibility for their child in a really narcissistic, selfish way, like, I don't want to go to jail, so I guess I'll stop little Jimmy from smashing up the store. But anything that helps that, I think, is a good thing, because the sole purpose of parenthood is to be responsible for your child.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really strange for me to see parenting groups against this, because I'm sure they're for it in other contexts and other roles. I don't really get their argument.
I think that anytime parents are just encouraged to take responsibility for the actions of their minor child, I think that's a good thing. So I'm all for this. I know that it seems harsh to some people, but listen, it's not society's job to deal with your kid, to your point. And so deal with your kid, or else you're going to be in the slammer too. And I think there's a lot of people that could benefit from being in the slammer, if I'm being honest.